All right, everyone. Good afternoon. This is the Passengers United press conference, and I have Joe Rappaport, who's here, who would love to tell us how he feels about the governor, and what happened with the way the posters were poorly designed, and just the lifting of masks in the subway. So, Joe, take it away.
Okay, I'm going to actually turn it over to Kara Leibowitz,
Kara.
who is the executive, not the executive director, she is the advocacy coordinator. Well, next week.
My name is Kara Leibowitz. I'm the advocacy coordinator for the Brooklyn Center for Independence of the Disabled. We are an independent living center led by and serving people with disabilities. I am also a multiply disabled person at high risk for complications from COVID-19. Governor Hochul's decision to lift the mask mandate on public transportation and the MTA's absurd public education response just don't make sense. The science is clear. Masks reduce the transmission of COVID. And New Yorkers in close quarters like subway cars and accessorized vehicles should be wearing them to protect each other. Millions of high-risk New Yorkers like myself use New York City's public transportation system to get to and from work, school, and social events. We should not have to feel like we are risking our lives every time we step onto a bus or a train. The pandemic isn't over, and pretending it is by getting rid of mandates or putting up ridiculous posters won't make it over. It's not okay to say, you do you, when you doing you could result in someone else's death. This cavalier attitude toward a public health measure is just wrong. It implies that we should all mind our own business and that wearing masks isn't an effective tactic to prevent the spread of COVID. Minding our own business is a fine strategy when there's someone playing a bongo drum on the train, or when someone is talking loudly on their cell phone on the bus. It is not a fine strategy when the matter could cause serious harm to the people around us. Imagine if we apply the same messaging to things like secondhand smoking or drunk driving. Have one drink, or 3, or 10, and get behind the wheel. You do you, respect people's choices. The posters must come down. If the MTA doesn't put in a mandate on its own, it should at least require masks in accessorized vehicles, where people are stuck together in close quarters, sometimes for hours. The MTA also should designate mask-only cars on subway trains and commuter rail lines. The MTA must retool public messaging to reflect that masks still work and should be worn properly, and the MTA must provide high-quality N95 or KN95 masks free of charge in subway stations, at bus stops, and other convenient locations. Governor Hochul, this move puts all New Yorkers at risk. MTA, these posters are offensive. You must change course. Thank you.
I'm going to just leave it to Kara. She's the one who's done this. We have produced these posters that a graphic artist, Amanda Yu, I believe, put together that reflect what the MTA does, but fixes it. Masks are an important way to stop the spread of COVID-19. Everybody knows this. Let's stop the virus. And then she also added, a mask works best if worn over your nose and mouth, as I'm doing. This way is yes, below your nose, no. Below,
above your mouth, covering your nose,
right? No. And then somebody without, come on, man, let's stop the virus. And we agree with this concept. We think that the MTA should retool its horrendous messaging and maybe use these if they can get permission from the artist. They make a lot more sense. Thank you.
So that is Joe Rappaport. And what again? Can you please tell us the organization?
Kara and I are both from the Brooklyn Center for Independence of the Disabled, also known as BCID.
Got it. And our Vice President of Accessibility at Passengers United, Christopher. Christopher, take it away. Christopher, I know you're very upset about what's going on.
Yes and no. The reason why should I be stressing myself? But yes, I'm not going to show anger. I'm going to show disappointment, because here's the confusion that even before mask was changed as of the governor. We need to make it very clear, because there is mixed communication that goes out. even before masks in here, and as I'm trying to explain, if the Rappaport is correct, with these pictures and with, say your name, I'm sorry. Kara, forgive me, long day. We need to make sure that signages are on the buses, even if it is new rules, old rules. There has to be signs on the buses, on the subway, but not so small, larger print. Again, as I said this before, and I will say this again, larger print helps the people to see and understand. There are some stations don't have screens, but there are some stations do have the screens, but it only shows you like 1 second. If I turn myself around, bam, it's gone already. All we're asking is, and I think BCID has the perfect way, larger signages that needs to be posted on buses, definitely on every bus, because we're looking at some of these buses on 3rd Avenue. I don't see them. I don't see them in Brooklyn. I don't see them in Queens. I don't see them in the Bronx or Staten Island, especially not on the subways or the Long Island Railroad and Metro North. Where are the signages? Because if a person, like today, I'm looking at subway people. Even I wear my mask on the train still, because if an overcrowded train, you never know if someone might have a cold or something. We still got to make sure that masks, you can still wear your mask, but it has to be clear what they're saying. Please, let's get this, let's get the information out. Please, let's remind the press to get the facts out.
Okay. Just hold it.
And President of Passengers United, the young and handsome Charlton DeSouda, who smiles a little bit. Nice to see.
So I just want to say that I am outraged with the governor, and I'm outraged with our elected officials, only because as far as I understand, several advocates had spoken to the MTA. It's also my understanding that thousands of people have called the governor, asking the governor not to do this, according to sources who work in the governor's office. And we do feel that we are in a state of emergency because COVID is not over. You know, right now I'm outside with all of you out here, but in my house, when I go home in front of my mother, I wear my mask inside my house. And I wear my mask because I'm scared that I might get my mother sick. And I've been very cautious. So I think everyone's comfort level is not there completely. And I think that the governor and the mayor and all the other elected officials who are in such a rush to get New York City back to normal are not realizing that they're actually taking New York City a step backwards, because if we don't address this, if we don't have masks in the subway, and if we don't have masks in the subway and people are getting sorry guys. New York City traffic. This is one of the reasons why people are pushing for congestion pricing, because there's so much traffic in the city, guys, and this is the problem. But we are not giving up today. I want people to know that we are just getting started. A reporter, is that him? I thought that was him. Oh. So we are just getting started with this now. And I promise all of you, we are going to keep putting pressure on Governor Kathy Hochul to reinstate the mask mandate. I urge all of you to call the governor. I urge all of you to call the governor and just say how outraged you are about this. We are not giving up on this, because I've been in situations where things have happened. I've seen people coughing on each other, you know, and so you need a level of safety in the subway. And a lot of times our subway trains get very crowded. you know, and you need masks on the subway system. So we are not giving up. We are just getting started today, and I promise you guys, we are going to embarrass the hell out of the governor and out of our elected officials until they meet us halfway, because what happened yesterday with the advertising in the subway is completely unacceptable. So this is Passengers United at the governor's office, guys, and we are not giving up, and I am so proud of all the advocates who came out today, and we look forward to working with Joe, and we also look forward, this is going to be my new best friend, because we are going to be working together.
Yes, let me give you my card.
Oh, she's giving you a card now.
She's giving you your card for your autograph.
Thank you so much. And in case you're wondering, guys, why the media didn't come out, it's because the Queen
has passed away.
The Queen of England has passed away.
And it is very sad that we did lose the Queen, who did work with people with disability. The last person did see him was Andy Byford when they opened the elevator and the ramps. I'm sorry, elevators and at the Queen. But as we said, let her rest in peace. A lot of people are going to be mourning, but at the same time, there's nothing we can do. But at the same time, it is important that proper signages, understanding about the mask, must be cleared and must understand, because we have different types of disabilities out there, may not understand, or might go a little bit confusing, saying, oh, we're supposed to wear it or we're not supposed to wear it.
Did you want to comment on the PCAC statement or no? You can. Okay. So
the bottom line is it doesn't matter